Hello, everyone. I am Alex.
I am Mariela.
Yes, and Mariella is having some slight microphone issues, but we still love her.
Alex having some speaker issues, and we
Whatever.
still love her. So it's fine.
Um, yeah, welcome everyone. We before we got on here, we were talking about some changes in our name, in the name of in the name of our YouTube, in the name of podcast. Like, how can we create a name that is a bit easier for folks to understand kind of what we're doing? Why did we start Unity for All? What was, like, I know why. I'm asking you, Mariella, to share. Because I think you were one of the ones who like kind of said it, and I'm like, yeah, let's do it. But Unity for All, tell me about it.
When we were working together in the same office and seeing each other every day, then we used to have these very good conversations about what was going on in our lives and then what we learned. If we saw something on a book, or if we watched a video, or we came across a phrase or a paragraph, a poem, and we would share with each other what we found. And then we would talk and talk about it. And we thought our conversations were so fun that we wanted to share them with everybody else, well, that would listen to us.
Okay, but you're
so
missing some key things. I'm going to interrupt you here, Mariella.
so yeah, go ahead, because Alex has a better memory about those days than me, so I'm fine.
Yeah. So, but we were also, a huge thing was spirituality. Like we were looking at the astrology and kept hearing about like some big change that was going to happen, and we could feel it. And you were doing like, oh, what's that book? Not Return to Love, but it's like a huge book.
I don't know which one. Oh, the course. I was doing the course in
Miracle.
miracles,
Yes.
and I was reading also the Michael Singer
Hmm.
books.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and I was getting into a lot of shadow work and doing a lot of Buddhist practices and and breath work. Like we both had a lot of different things that we were doing, and you were into mediumship and channeling. And so we were sharing, like, and we started doing card reading at the office and getting everybody into it, and energy work and Reiki. And so we share this like love of all these interests. And we so we have all these interests, so we're sharing. And so we thought it was pretty great conversations, and that I imagine other people are going through similar things and experiencing similar things. And it was so cool that me and you had found one another, right? To be able to like geek out like this and like share this wonderful connection and interest and path. And now, did you want to say anything more about Unity for All specifically?
We were thinking of a name at that time, and we wanted everyone to be included no matter what. So all differences would be put aside, and um, then we could tap into everything, all the themes for everyone, anyone. It didn't matter. And so in that sense, we would keep everybody together.
Yeah, and I think to build on that, like the idea that um we really want, like, that universal connection. And me and Mariella are two, like, we didn't know each other and had very like different life paths, and being from literally different countries, and like finding each other, and how we all can connect through this spiritual path. But we know that this spiritual path, like, everybody's on some type of journey. And so that maybe there are other people that maybe don't have someone. And that this is kind of what I thought, because meeting you was like so wonderful and exciting to like, oh yeah, like I'm not alone on this journey. Um, and so that idea, like we all can be on this journey together. So we wanted to like just
Yeah,
share this.
yeah. And we are together in this journey.
Hmm. Yes. Yes, we are. So, um, so yeah, so we were talking about that beforehand, but then we were also talking about all the, yeah, we're going to share today about what we've been hearing, um, and in astrology or in energetics and what we've been experiencing, and then pull some cards for the rest of the month and kind of like feel into that energy of that's, unfolding before us.
Yeah. I always get excited with talking about the energies that are being felt now and the possible energies that are coming in with um, the guidance of astrology and cards and intuition, and then see if they become true. We were talking about October and we were talking about like how hard it looked from before it happened. And remember, we got these cards about water and water and water. And we started with those cards in September with water. And I was like thinking, why do we have so much water? And it's all about emotions and emotions and emotions. And it has been interesting for some people I know. And just it feels like people have been um revisiting some things that happened some time ago. And you were talking, Alex, about one conjunction specifically in like an astrology that happened some time ago, and it was going to like the same energy was going to be felt. And I don't remember what it was. But you told me, Mariella, whatever was happening in blah 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 time, look at it. Do you remember?
Mm-hmm. So there was um what was happening in November 2021.
November 2021.
That's when I decided to move here.
As many things related to family came up for me. And I think we were in Ecuador actually. November
In
2021.
November, yeah.
Yeah. So it makes sense. Like that is proven to be a fact now. And yeah, it has brought a lot of things that were not resolved. And it's not that people are not doing what I want, or they are mean or whatever. It's more than that my inside was still processing things that were not resolved yet. And now I feel in a space where, okay, now I went through that and it's not as bad as what I thought. And just moving forward from
Oh.
there, although it's not finalized.
Hmm.
What about you?
Um, yeah. Um, I feel like I still like, hindsight is 2020, and I still am not far enough away from it to fully understand everything, like all the whys of the experience. But um in October last year, like I was traveling back towards Calgary, and then planning to pack up my place and looking for a job to move out to New Brunswick. And I was kind of like, yeah, like let's do it. I just wanted something different and it was so exciting, and this new guy and like blew me away. And but I also think there were layers of me not listening to myself because I couldn't understand what I was hearing versus not hearing. And I was just like, no, 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 this feels right. This is exciting. Like, this is great. And I'm like, oh, can look back and be like, oh, it's a dysregulated nervous system.
I was running away.
Yeah.
Were
But,
you?
um, well, yeah, like, I mean, when I originally left Calgary in July, I wanted to try and find a new place. I was running away at that time. And so then I found this really exciting person and this really beautiful place. And it was between New Brunswick, like in St. John-ish, or Gatineau, like Ottawa. But that guy was here. So, um, then I found a job here and it all worked out, and it like lined up to be like work out. I'm like, exactly. And so I think I was meant to be here. I was
I
meant to
guess so
be
too.
here and go through this experience because it's been one heck of a journey of my own internal understanding of my emotional self, my inherent worth and understanding of what that even means, and boundaries. Like, oh my God, I didn't even know what a boundary was when I look back, you know? So there's
You
been,
knew the definition or the theory of it.
yeah, but the ending was a full solid stop on that relationship. We tried a few different times and tried different types of connections, and it ended. It was a solid ending. And well, he more chose to like, let's use this eclipse to end it. And yeah, and it's like it all makes sense, you know. And every time me and Marielle, we were just laughing. We were talking about we had shared in the last one that it was like October 20th and 21st, like conflict intensity, everybody watch out. And
Yeah.
when Mariella had said that, part of me was like, how bad can it be, right? Like, it can't be
Yeah,
that bad.
I don't
And
even thought that it was going to be really, really like real.
well, I put it in my calendar. I said, shit's about to get real. That's what I wrote on my calendar for 3 days. And I kept thinking, oh, but because I know it and I'm telling
It's
everybody,
not going to
it's
happen.
not going to happen. And then somehow things just like blew up in my face. And I'm like, what? How did that happen? Like, I had no idea things like that was going
I
to
even had a strategy. Remember, I told you I was going to not talk to any, like, I was going to not talk, don't have any conversations about anything with anybody. And I thought stupidly, like, how'd you say
You said
stupidity?
it, yeah, stupidity.
Stupid. Well, it was a stupid thought. But I was going to be fine if I didn't talk to people.
It found you.
It
It
found
found us.
me. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, but they say, like astrologers, when I watch them on videos on YouTube, they say that we are not slaves of what planets do. Like, but
100%.
how, why? We are slaves sometimes. Like the energy is there. Like how do I avoid?
Yeah, and everybody I knew was
Because it's
having these
so
explosive moments.
is unconscious, is like
Yeah,
heating inside, layers and layers and layers. So how am I supposed to feel like the universe plans and you're just in their plan? How?
I don't know.
So just knowing beforehand if some conjunction is going to happen, I feel like my next strategy to maybe avoid or
Control the situation.
make it better is just send the best energy possible beforehand. But you know how things have to be in your face sometimes so that you understand them? It's like, what do I want? Do I want denial and avoidance? Or do I actually want to see it and then leave it? Like, let
Mm,
go and go, keep going.
yeah.
So actually, I feel like it's better to see it,
Hmm.
although it's very uncomfortable sometimes.
Yes. Very uncomfortable. But exactly, like, yeah, all the things that I've experienced, even with like the eclipses, I just never thought these things would, like, I just wasn't expecting any of that. And here I am on the other side of it, dumbfounded and grateful, as much as I don't want to say that. There's been so much gratitude. There's been actually so much gratitude and like this fall energy of like this like honoring of grief and loss, but honoring and like grateful for so many beautiful things. There's been this really weird like wavering of emotion that's been really beautiful. But then you have those moments of intensity that you have to go through and it's like holy moly. Hmm. So yeah, so we laughed at like we didn't really think something was going to be hard, even though we planned it and we're thinking about it. And it's like, was it a self-fulfilling prophecy? It's like, man, but it's not. I mean, let's just think of COVID, Mariella. Like, I will always come back to COVID.
Did I prophesize that? No.
No,
And
but
we
the
were watching
astrology
the
did.
charts. Yes. And we saw, remember it was Sagittarius and this big wave that everybody was in it? And I was thinking, oh, wow, everybody's going to go through this. It's not like something personal.
Mm, I don't remember what you're talking about, but I just remember all of the talk. And then it's like, oh, that makes
Yeah.
sense. But yeah, that everybody was going to go through and they thought it would be some type of health crisis or um something that would affect the whole world. Yep. Oh, a little louder.
It was Saturn. Can you hear me?
Can't.
How about there? There, there, there. No?
No.
Okay, you talk then.
See now, see you leaned forward and it gave us sound.
Oh, okay, that's why then. I just wanted to give a heads up for November
Hmm.
11th and 13th, right?
Hmm.
Just in case, maybe it's not applicable to you.
No.
No, November 11th is I don't remember what's the conjunction. Do you remember? But I know that something is oppositional or opposite
Uranus.
to
Uranus is with
Uranus
Taurus.
in Taurus. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it seems like plans are not going to go your way, whatever you do on that day.
Yeah.
So it might be frustrating. And then November 13th, that one has the energy of maybe accidents. And so it's just suggesting not to be impulsive. Like,
Mm.
take your time, think it through, make a decision with your feet on the ground, and you'll be fine.
Yes. Be fine. Um, so yeah, but I've been, so we're in Scorpio season right now. And Scorpio season is naturally a very like deep internal experiencing sign. Um, which is really lovely and it makes sense with fall and kind of like this letting go and like dying energy that takes place during fall in the northern hemisphere. And of course, partway through November, we'll flip into Sagittarius season. We all like Sag season because it's usually much more joyous and adventurous and possibilities. Whereas like we go from like a deeper internal place to like bringing the meaning in that out into the world. That's my take on it.
Yes, because
Um,
she is Sagittarius.
I am Sagittarius. Um, and so yeah, so we'll have like a Scorpio new moon, which will be great for those deeper internal questions, and we'll have the full moon in Gemini. So looking at like different ways that we communicate, but because it's the full moon, it might be like letting go of certain things or conversations that have to happen or move through, or our internalized self-talk that we need to let go of, that kind of communicative piece. And but today we have Saturn that finally moved direct in Pisces. So since March, we've been having a look at Pisces uh, and Saturn together. And then it went back into Aquarius, I think it was, or Capricorn or whatever it was. It went back into its other sign and then came back in. So we're right at the beginning of Pisces and Saturn, which we had talked about in a previous video about the beautiful container that Saturn will be able to hold for Pisces. So it hopefully won't be like that oppressive thing, but it will be teaching us all about ourselves, the deeper interconnecting pieces, like our consciousness, and emotional container, a container for our dreams to be real. And we're just at the beginning of it, which is really exciting. But we just got out of retrograde. And so anything where you might have been doing that internal work and thinking about life and yourself and that deeper remembering or re-looking at challenging pieces is going to start loosening up. So although November has like some intense things, it sounds like, it's also like it is an ending. Like we're in this loosening phase. And I know me and you both listened to Lee Harris, and he talks about like this being the last month of the year in terms of energetics. So, so although it's still a lot, there's like a releasing that's still continuing during this time, before we enter into the next phase. But yeah.
Yeah, there's some energy also in November of some relationships ending and starting brand new ones for some people.
Yeah. It already
So
ended.
that,
I mean,
yeah,
maybe more will end.
because
I don't know.
yeah, we're ending things right now. So if things have to be that way, probably it's for the best, and we're moving on to new, bright, and wonderful adventures,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, that's the beauty of, and that's why I do say, like a lot of times Scorpio is this like deeper aspect. And Sagittarius is, it's not opposite. It takes what it had and it transforms it. And then same with Capricorn. Capricorn takes that piece from Sagittarius and transforms it. And it just keeps transforming and transmuting into something different, those energies. So it's not like one is actually better than the other. They're just continuously transmuting and bringing things into new energies. But this is a time of letting go. Like look at the earth around us doing such a beautiful job showing us, um even amongst the chaos, right? So yeah. Now, Mariella, is there
Yeah.
anything you would like to share about what is coming up for you, or is there anything else you'd like to share before we pull some cards?
Um, no, I feel like right now I'm in a pause and ready for what comes next. You know, when you have those little breaks and then you work on something else.
Hmm.
So I'm just waiting. I am applying for a master's program. So I'm in that process and just getting ready for what I think it's going to be a busy time in my life. Who knows? I'm not sure. I have put an intention in the universe that I will have lots of more money so I don't have to work full time while I'm studying. And so let's see.
Yay. I know, like with endings and beginnings and this beautiful Saturn energy, and Pisces, in terms of some of the things I recognize. So Saturn slows things down a little bit, like it's a slower energy, but it's like a beautiful, more methodical energy, very Capricorny. It doesn't have to move quickly through things. So there's definitely like a really good moving forward energy for me because I have very strong Pisces in my chart. But in terms of like offering breath work and what I offer in the world and moving forward with some of that and like gaining more confidence in myself or things like that. And just like, I just recognize so much more passions and interests that I have, and I want to explore that. And I don't want to be like held back in those areas. And I want to make a whole bunch of mistakes and like be fascinated by like a variety of things. But like, I'm loving where I live right now, even though there are some downsides, but I'm loving it. And so I feel like I'm in this new phase and stage, but I'm open to being surprised, and I'm open to radical changes that are being called.
Be careful.
I
I just
wanna
felt when you said radical changes, oh, something's big is coming for you.
I know. Yay.
What it is.
As long as it's not losing any loved ones. I'm not ready for that yet. I'm not ready.
Not that surprise.
I'm not that kind of surprise. Even though like that continuously lingers in my mind of fear, like not being in Calgary, that's like a continuous fear that stays with me. But so yeah, but I'm excited of what's next. And, I'll continue to do some heart healing and learning of self and growing.
Yeah, we keep growing. I love what is it called? Reflective practice.
Yes.
Reflecting all the time about what I'm doing, how am I doing, and just speaking about it.
Mhm.
Mm. And
Yeah.
others giving me feedback. I am loving it.
You're going to get so much feedback now.
I do already. Oh, but then going talking about cards.
Yes.
Do you want to listen what I got?
100%.
Okay, so very interesting. For November,
For
I
November.
got a blessing of the earth. You
Mm.
know that the earth is our mother earth, right?
Hmm.
And then I got Themis. Do you know Themis?
No, I don't. No.
It's very interesting looking. Okay.
It looks like she's got like the darkness and the light, and I don't know what she's holding, but it looks like she's holding something and maybe burning it in the other hand. And then there's like the darkness and the light. So it's like these, like I can't see what it says down below. Natural order, maybe? Natural order. And so, yeah, that's actually a really beautiful card. And it goes well with Earth because if you think about, we're in that natural order of time where we're about to go into, like, we're going into the darkness. Um, so yeah, beautiful. And that deep earthy energy behind there.
It's so interesting.
Oh, can you speak a little closer, please? Sorry.
There,
Keep
there,
going.
there. How about there?
Mhm.
There? Okay. So, Themis is the goddess of natural order and justice, the daughter of Gaia and Uranus. Does
Oh,
that make sense?
wow. Wow. So much Uranus energy. And
Yeah,
Taurus is like that earth energy.
yeah. That's why she's brown and green, but at the same time, she's so blue. Because Uranus is so like that light, spatial, icy blue.
Mm, very cool.
Yeah. So cool. And she is holding a bowl in one hand and the branches in the other one.
Mm.
And so she's known for her wisdom and acts as counsel to Zeus. Zeus? To
Zeus.
dad? Zeus.
Yeah.
So
Zeus.
he is grandfather, probably.
Mm.
Right? Or no, he's father.
Yeah,
Because
he
she's the
father.
daughter of
Be like God. Yeah.
Gaia and Uranus. I don't know if Gaia is the daughter of Zeus. Anyways, Themis governs the law of nature as opposed to the law of humankind.
Mm.
When Themis' order is not respected, Nemesis, the goddess of retribution, punishes the offender.
Okay, so justice.
Yes, it's like a justice card, a justice symbol.
Mm-hmm.
Justice is balance, and balance comes with order. Themis is the balance of all things as is nature. All things have a natural order. Day, light, night, harmony, chaos, birth, death. And when we struggle against the natural order, we become severely out of balance. It's basically saying that we need to go with the flow.
Mm-hmm.
It's talking
Well,
about nature. And yeah, go ahead.
yeah, well, resisting any kind of change, like transformation and change is not a question. It's like it's a reality, and trying to stop it is you can't. Like it will eventually make life so hard that it's going to force you. You know, eventually you'll get really, really, really ill. And I mean, you can still just die, but it's going to ask you, it's asking you to change. And if you're not going to listen, you know, you're just going to keep suffering because it will try and put things into order. Even if we don't want to do it, it's going to keep trying.
Saying the other way around. So put things in order so that everything's in balance.
I like that.
And so the blessing of the earth is for connection with the land, for strong bodies and bones, for blood that flows bright red and energy, for grain to harvest and good food upon your table. And so, yeah, it's very interesting. It's very earthy and reminds me of that. What is it? Uranus in Taurus.
Yeah, it's that Taurian energy of like our resources and what our wealth is and the um yeah, the
The
material things.
yeah, the earth. And so, what do you feel about this month with these cards?
Well, no, it's very much
Uranus is
like
explosive sometimes, right? And it's talking about that energy of surprise.
yeah, like we're having this Uranus and Taurus energy until 2026, and that will affect like we've talked about our resources, our wealth, our internal values, our internal like so there's lots of internal stuff going on in terms of our internal worth and all that, but what we place our values and importance. Um, and so we recognize there's all kinds of things financially, food source, scarcity, safety. And this is like security is Taurus. And then Uranus is like challenging that and trying to transform that and saying, no, look again, look again, look again, trying to help us find some truth because we've been living so out of alignment. So very uncomfortable. And it's very hard to watch so many people suffer. But that's like I think that energy, and that's just like then there's like the energy of November, which is literally a dying off, like the ending of fall and the beginning of winter. We're transitioning out of like into like the deeper of winter, the death period, which allows like for new beginnings, that natural cycle.
I've been feeling lately in my family as well that we start to cook more together at home rather than going out. And I
Mm-hmm.
know that other people are feeling the same way. and it feels like restaurants are not doing as well as before. But also like that energy of starting to plant things together and harvest together. Like
Mhm.
at work, we have been planting basil and taking care of it so that everybody can use it. And I saw some white onions in
Mm.
water so that it grows roots, and we can also use that. Oregano,
Mhm.
uh, aloe vera.
Mhm. Nice.
So yeah, there's that energy.
Mhm. So some cards I pulled, which you may have seen me very distracted looking for the book for this one because I mean, I'm going to say I don't understand it, but I've never seen this card before, so I don't know.
One.
But it's pretty clear on some level, and I'm like,
Hmm.
oof, please. Um,
You got the love. Hadarian energy, codependency, and boundaries. Oh, you know what? Have you heard the energies at this time is also that of mm, changing that strong codependency, like depending so much on each other, or but at the same time working as a community?
well, there's a difference between codependency and interdependence. So this energy of Pisces, this piece is there's like people talk a lot about sovereignty. So like sovereignty or individuation, which is really understanding ourself as an individual and what like our values are, our importance, um, our self-regulation, our um, self like our self-worth, like all that self stuff, so we can be these really strong and powerful individuals, but then being able to have that capacity to interweave with others. So like interdependence, like whereas like codependency is I can't be without you. Like I need you like to feel my worth and my value. And that's like that external validation where individuation is needing less of the external validation. And so sovereignty is reacting from
Yourself.
our own place. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the Pisces Saturn energy,
Yeah.
right? So this is what we've been experiencing in retrograde the last 6 months. And now it's going to move forward differently. This card scares me just because I feel like I've been doing so much work and I'm kind of nervous about getting tested. I can't. I can't. Like my heart is in recovery mode and I can't. I
Well,
can't.
remember that you are your best cheerleader. Whatever happens, you're fine because you love yourself. You're worth everything.
Ugh. Yes.
There's
So all of you out there who might be
you have
struggling
so much value.
with like old relationships or this new, I'm going to call it that newfound relationship with myself that is easily tested by others, particularly a very specific other, or a few specific others maybe, but um yeah, I grew up very much aware of codependency and trying to find my own footing because I'm a very independent
Like
person.
in songs, when we hear songs,
Yeah.
like I can't live without you. Please come back. Give me one more night.
One more night.
Right?
Yeah.
One more night. Baby, I need you.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
it's ingrained in ourselves, but we need to learn to stand up on our own 2 feet and know that we are loving, loved, everything. We don't need anybody
Yeah.
to
Uh,
feel love,
There was this great
although it's so nice.
there was this great post. It's like I'm not giving love to receive love or loving because I'm love, not because I need love. Like giving because I'm giving from a place of love,
Yeah.
not giving because I need love in return. And that is the ultimate, where we need to find ourselves. But if I'm putting pressure on the world to meet all of my needs, then I'm always going to be at like the victim. A victim is like really a codependency can have some more victimy energy and blaming energy. And so having boundaries.
And it's
Yeah,
not easy. Like everything you're saying, it sounds really nice. In practice, and I'm just thinking of them as right natural order, and
mhm,
we have to put those things in order, right?
exactly. Well, I
Because if not, we're going to be put there.
actually we have not been in natural order for years. Like our society has grown in a way that is no longer actually sustainable. Like so many of the things have been about truth, needing to find truth, the truth. And we're finding all these, like since COVID, our belief system is like shifting and changing, and we're continuously to find out all of these lies or myths, truths, or um, just changing in our ideals and values. And so it's like there's this uncovering that has to take place. Now, the other card I pulled was this one, which I'm also not familiar with. So this is with the Osho deck. And so this is their shadow deck, which would be the swords, right? And so because it's shadowy, so I'm guessing it's the swords, right? Show what? It's a page. It's the page of clouds.
Swords. It's a beginning, and
So
you start actually with looking at things, putting them in your consciousness, no longer just keeping them under the layers. That makes sense. We
mhm,
keep seeing more truth and more about ourselves. These like wonderful things that we have inside that we are so afraid of, but they are so wonderful.
mhm. Yeah, it the card does speak to that. Like this, when you choose this card, it means there is a crystal clarity available right now, detached, rooted in the deep stillness that lies at the core of your being. So like just kind of that new way of like that knowing piece, an energy of knowing as opposed to like, oh, I know, and it being intellectual. So I know the swords is very airy and mind based, and our mind and our ego is what creates so much chaos. But when we're in that new beginnings energy, like, because the page usually about the newness? Is that,
Yeah,
but
because
it's
it's
also
the younger
a next
um
level of consciousness because it's beyond the numbers, right? There's some evolution there. Okay. All right, peeps. We got this. We got a lot going on. There's a lot going on, and that Taurian and Uranus energy and that Saturn and Pisces energy, like, wow, discomfort and transformation all in once. But I feel like, yeah, let's all be kind to each other. We're all so different and unique and perfect, and just be kind. Hmm. Um, well, Mariella, any last things you'd like to say before we take off?
No, I'm good. Ready for November.
Ready for November. Okay. Well, thank you, everyone. We look forward to seeing you again soon. Many blessings on this month of November. Bye.
See you later. Bye.